Whoa! It didn't like that. I was messing around with settings and stuff while you guys are chilling on the stream, and I don't know what it is about my OBS in this game. My OBS just does not like it. I mean, OBS. This game does not like it when I change scenes. It gets all glitchy. I don't know. This game likes to fight me, but I can fight back. I don't know how to bring my chat back. I'm having so much scuff. But welcome in, love pups. Today we have a gift. I still don't know how to pronounce it. But thank you to the people over at Crystal Gameworks that gifted this game to us. I think it's pronounced Asphodelium. Asphodelium. Maybe I should have asked that while I was freaking out about trying to set it up yesterday. I don't have these things called brain cells. But who cares? Anyways, I don't know much about this game. It looks really cool. I read it. I read their email and then instantly forgot it while dealing with tech issues. Oh my stars. I know we play as a character named Hazel. Let's see how much I remember. We play as Hazel, whose team and stuff just took down like a cult, and in the process of that ended up killing their leader, Aster. And apparently Aster's back. I think I got the gist of it. I hope. Anyways, let's get into the game. I want to start now. That night sky... Reader. That night, the sky was completely cloudy. No stars peering down. No glimpses from the moon. Only the snow witnessed us. Only the snow watched me as I killed him. That was the start. Chapter 1. Meeting. We just starting with the dark stuff. Gotcha. Ah, morning already. I groan, rubbing my strained neck. My mattress feels too hard, and my pillow feels too soft now. Every morning, it's like I'm waking up to something else being sore. Ain't that the joys of getting older? I mean, I don't know if the music or anything's too loud, love pups. Light crawls in through my window as if to check that I'm still alive. As high as the sunlight looks in the sky, I must have slept most of the morning. Why didn't Charlotte wake me? No, the better question is how I didn't hear them. I know why they didn't wake me. It's not often Charlotte comes in here to get me up, since her moving around the flat is usually enough to wake me up anyway. And, well, I am an adult. Still, it's a pain to sleep in so late. Did they eat breakfast without me too? Hell, they're probably already preparing lunch by now. After a few more moments of staring at the ceiling, I slink out of bed. My feet hit the cold wooden floor, sending a jolt through me that helps wake me up some more. Oops. Well, I guess it's save time. I stare at the clothes strewn about. It should be so easy to just fold the damn clothes. Just pick up a pair of pants, fold them in half, and then fold the legs. It's so easy, and yet I just sit there and stare at them instead. Hey, Lila. Yeah, maybe it's good that Charlotte didn't come in here. She's been so patient with me already, helping me with laundry and cooking and cleaning. I want to help her with it. I want to thank her, but whenever I get the chance, the words never come to me. Only shame. I find a pair of clothes that's not completely wrinkled and throw it on before heading out of my room. A cold draft flows down the hallway, making me shiver. Every one of my steps causes the floorboards to creak. I pause for a moment and just listen. It's so quiet in here. The only sound I can hear is from people walking outside. Where is everyone? Ren spent the night last night, but it's probably already lunchtime, so I shouldn't be surprised they already left again for work. Their schedule is about as messy as it could be, but they seem to like it well enough. It keeps their mind busy, at least. I don't think something like that would work for me. Rather than the smell of lunch cooking from the kitchen, there's just a staleness in the air. My stomach rumbles. I didn't eat much last night, and now there's no food waiting for me. Damn, I really am devolving into a kid again. It's pretty clear Charlotte isn't here. With her door left ajar and the lights turned off, she probably went to town while I was asleep. Maybe she met up with Alexi, or a friend. It's good for her to get out of the house. My mouth's already getting to dries. I open up the refrigerator. Half-eaten sausage, some greens, and a couple of eggs. It'd barely be enough for lunch, much less dinner tonight for us. I close it back. The bread box proves more fruitful. With half a loaf in it, I take a slice and call it a meal. I've done that before. Kinda. She's most likely picking up some food for us today. I need to pay her back. Literally. I can't let her keep using her own money to feed both of us. None of my typical clients have said they had any work for me the past couple of weeks. I could loiter around the bars and ask around if anyone needs a handyman or help with something, but it'd feel more like wasting time than anything. I open up the closet to see what we've got in there. Some hammers and a tool belt for handiwork, a shovel for yard work, and a few boxes with different sewing kits and such. I've never been good with that kind of craft, so I leave it for Charlotte, who seems to enjoy it. However, there is also a dusty violin case that's tucked away on one of the shelves, almost as if it were trying to hide from view. I lug it out and lay it on the table. Huh. The case pops open with a short clink. The insides haven't seen the light of day in months. Its slender frame is well worn from use and travel, back when I carried it with me religiously. Unconsciously, I take the cloth inside the case and clean it. I check the strings to make sure they're still strung well enough to play. Strumming a few of them, and still looks beautiful. There's something about it today. This'll do. I take the violin case and head out the door, locking it behind me. Ooh. I really love the frame. I guess you guys really can't see it with my overlay. Hang on, let me turn my overlay off real quick. Where is my overlay? There it is. Look at the frame. Isn't it pretty? I love the flowers. Oh my stars. I wonder what year we're in. I got so many questions already. And we only just begun. La la la. Okay. I shall continue. You guys want me to continue with my overlay on or off? I'll leave it off for now. Just to show off the pretty flowers. The town is as lively as ever, bustling with people in every direction. The sun hangs above the square, doing little to help with the frigid temperatures. Most people don't seem to care, though, as they continue on their way. I take a seat on the edge of the town square, on the town square's fountain, and watch for a few moments. A mother and father hold their child's hands as they gush about a stage play they just saw. A young woman carries a basket of groceries, paying more attention to her coat than where she's walking. An older man hauls several boxes from one storefront to another. What? Yes, that's the year. What? Anyways. Everywhere around me, people are off minding their own business. I rest the violin against my chin, so I'll make some background music for them. Even now, it's second nature for me. The notes come out on their own, springing to life. They leap off of the strings, doing a small twirl in the air before dancing away. As more of the notes fly away, they attract people's attention towards me. A small crowd begins to gather as I play. It's so pretty. Music imbued with magic. It's a novelty to the upper class, but a rare treat for commoners and townsfolk. The magic is potent enough to upturn even the deepest scowl into a small smile, though I didn't mean for it to come out that strong. Playing the violin is muscle memory for me, but I've become rusty on gauging how much magic is appropriate. I asked what year it was, so you answered yes, that's the year. I'm gonna throw something at you. More notes of the sonata prance out, fading away into the chilly air. The growing crowd applauds. It doesn't take long for the bottom of my violin case to be covered with coins. Playing music is about the easiest thing I could do for money. Find a nice seat in the square, strum on the strings for an hour, and call it a day. I haven't needed to read sheet music in years, and it never takes long to fill up my carrying case with coins. Physically, it's always been easy. My violin feels like a second part of me. I don't have to think much to play it anymore, which allows my mind to wander. Last time I played this piece was on a cliff overlooking a smoldering village. Ash clung overhead for days, raining soot down everywhere we stepped. The strong scent of a charbroiled wood and meat permeated the air. We were too late to help them. All I could do is hope a few notes could put what remained of them to rest. It was beyond feeling useless. Useless would have felt like if I walked up to the fight with only my violin and no magic. What I had felt for the first time in my life that day was true hopelessness. To have despair gnaw on my insides, leaving me empty. Aww. The notes prance around my head, swirling around in an almost dizzying fashion. I've realized that people have begun to pay more attention to the notes rather than the music, and readjust myself, focusing back on what I'm playing. I wonder if in D&D he'd count as a bard. I feel like he'd be a bard. Physically playing the violin will always be the easiest option. Mentally, though? Phew. I sigh. I'm thankful I'm not rusty, or else I'd be really subconscious. Charlotte will be happy to see me playing again, even if it's only a one-off thing. Maybe I'll even see her while I'm out here too. A group of kids have started dancing in front of me, spurred on by the background music. Even without me playing, they continue on. Side to side, hand in hand, they keep laughing. A small smile creeps up on my face. Beyond them is the sea of citizens and visitors. Many are bundled up, bracing for the next cold wave to hit our town tonight. Not the cold. Just as I tug on my scarf, a white speck floats down in front of me, and then another. A muted gray cloud hangs perfectly overhead, sprinkling snow over the square. It's not my ideal weather for playing outside, but it'll have to do for a bit longer. I steady my violin against my chin again. But my eyes see something they shouldn't have. A man stands in the crowd of onlookers some feet away. People haven't paid him much attention as they're more interested in my music. But I noticed him. Amidst the crowd, he sticks out, his hair disheveled and his coat well worn from travels. Even his boots are scuffed. An oversized, scratched-up canvas tote clings to his side. Despite the distance, I can feel his piercing eyes staring me down. It's a glimpse of something I shouldn't see. Not because it's illegal, but because I couldn't have seen it. Ooh, there he is. There's the man himself. me put my phone up here. I can't be seeing him right now because he can't be standing there in the crowd. The man that betrayed me when I felt closest to him. The man that tried to destroy the world months ago. The man that I killed. Ugh. My violin bow hits the ground, snapping me out of my stupor. I unconsciously turn to pick it up without even thinking of maintaining eye contact with the man. No. The ghost. I'm seeing things. I barely left the flat all week. This is the karma I get for being a shut-in. The karma for killing him. My fingers wrap around the bow, but I don't lean back up. A cold breeze hits my back, sending a big chill down my spine. I'm sweating. I don't know why I'm seeing him now of all times. It was months ago. If I were going to hallucinate about him, wouldn't it have started sooner? But it has to be a hallucination. Or someone who just happens to have a similar shade of hair, similar body type, similar face structure. It has to be. I stabbed him. I let him die in my arms. I buried him. If it's not, then... Ignore the crowd start packing up. Decisions. Ooh, I already don't know what to choose. I want to sit back up. My mind goes blank, so I let my body go into autopilot. With my bow in hand, I sit back up and face the crowd. He's still there, watching. A moment passes, and then another. And then I begin to play again. The piece is what I played at his funeral, attended only by the four of us. A requiem intended for distraught souls that met especially bloody ends. Notes flutter about more like a slow ballet rather than an energetic dance like before. When I close my eyes, I can still make out the dirt. It took us an hour to dig a hole big enough and deep enough for him. An hour of thrusting a shovel into the hardened, snow-laced ground. An hour of guessing how big a hole needed to be for a body. An hour of replaying the moment I thrust a knife into his chest. His corpse had already started rigor mortis by the time we were ready. The bread from this morning rises up in my throat. I swallow hard to keep it down. If I open my mouth, I'm sure it'll come out. Blech. The ground begins to be covered in snow, most of it sticking in place. Of course it would snow today. The last few notes of the requiem cling together before drifting apart. Falling among the snowflakes, the crowd applauds, including him. I can't stay here, not with a ghost watching me. I start putting away my violin to the dismay of the onlookers. There's some mumbling of disappointment, but they soon disperse back to what they were doing beforehand. I don't care. I stand up, dust the snow off of me, and turn to leave. Don't look back. The more I acknowledge my delusion, the worse it'll get. Don't think about it. Don't. Someone grabs my wrist. Their hand is wrapped around my wrist. Firm enough to stop me, but soft enough to be able to shrug off. I can feel their fingers on top of my jacket. I'm afraid to turn around. We both stand there in silence. A long exhale. My heart races. Hazel? His voice. It's his voice. My inside... Did my OBS just glitch? Okay, anyways. My insides flip over. My mind goes numb. I could never forget his voice. How my name sounded on his lips. There's no magic in the world that could recreate that so perfectly, much less bring someone back. Who is this? What is this? I swallow, then inhale, then I turn. The man stares at me, his eyebrows partially upturned in a concerned manner. Up close, it's much more apparent how disheveled he is. His hair is fraying, and all of his clothes have partial dirt on them. His eyes, though, they're a light kind of gray. The kind that lack a strong color to them, but make up for it in an intensity. An unusual shade of gray that reminds you of afternoon storms, of light rain, of fog on a steamy morning. People called him cursed because of his eyes. Eyes are the window to the soul, and thus he had none. The man in front of me is a mess. He's clearly homeless. His hair is much longer and much messier than his. His only said one word, unlike his talkative nature. But the man in front of me is him. I can feel it in my bones, in my heart, in my soul. I know it's him, just like how I know the sky is blue without checking, or that there's dirt underneath all this cobblestone even though I can't see it. I know it's him, but I can't find any words to say to him. Hazel. My name drips out of his mouth, slowly and carefully. It knocks the wind out of me to see him say it. Whatever words I had tried to form are lost. I'm sorry I've scared you. I realize my face is contorted, somewhere between horror and disbelief, and glance away, but it's hard to completely wipe the fear away. It really is his voice. I spent the past few months thinking about what I'd say to you when I finally found you, but... Why am I in trouble? I've come up with nothing! I'm not him. My head feels light. A man who looks just like him, talks just like him, and knows my name says he isn't him. Of course he isn't. He's dead. Read your messages. I can't read my messages. Ow! So, who are you? He lets go of my wrist and shifts uncomfortably. Well, oh, wow. I really have nothing to show for myself despite thinking about it for so long. A few nosy onlookers have begun staring. Can we go somewhere else to talk? Somewhere a tad more private. I kind of want to accept. Ow! My stars. Now look what you guys got me doing. I'll be hitting everything. I'll accept. I don't want this stranger to know where I live just yet, but I also don't want to keep making a scene here. Several people... Did I save? Yeah, I saved. But I also don't want to keep making a scene here. Several people keep staring at us, wondering what the outburst was about and why I was so quick to leave. A private alley should be a safer bet. Alright, let's go down the side alley on the next street. Ah, that'd be good. He smiles, almost childishly, but his eyebrows remain upturned. I don't know what to make of his attitude. I just know I can't trust him just yet. No, I don't want to trust him just yet. I don't want to face reality. There's no way he could be him. Right? take him to a side alley off of the square that's mostly just used as a back door for the restaurants and shops here. There won't be many people passing through here. I look back at the man behind me. Outwardly, he looks curious and mildly amused, but the rest of his body language betrays him. His hands feverishly fiddle with his jacket cuffs, and his eyes can't stay centered on anything. I don't remember him ever getting so obviously nervous. I will take the bonk away! I'll take it away. Watch me. Start talking. I'm not doing. You're not. Damn. I thought Lila was doing it. I straight up thought Lila was doing it. I could just see it from the corner of my eye. That's hilarious. Yes, well, it's rather hard for me to hide my appearance or my voice. To put it simply, I believe I am him, and I'm not him. Huh? What? What? Say that again. Already throwing my brain through a loop. So, you are actually him in some way? Yes and no. My name is Aster. A few months ago, I woke up several towns away. I had no memories of my own except my name, but I had his memories. At first I thought they were my own, but I realized something was wrong. In my memories, I died. They were my memories, but I hadn't lived them. Someone else had. He had. I don't have all of his memories, though. Only a handful. I wouldn't call it a scrapbook of highlights, but I know a lot of what happened to him. I don't think he's a ghost, either. There was one person I kept seeing over and over in my dreams, and that was you. I knew I had to find you no matter what. It took me a few months, but I'm here now. He grins at me. The gesture feels genuine, but somehow off. He never acted like that. This isn't him. This is some stranger who looks like him and has his memories. How? How what? He said you woke up only knowing your name, right? So, when he died, you gained his memories in place of your own? Right. How do you look like him? That's the part where I believe to some degree I am him. I don't just have his memories. I have a version of his body, a copy of his voice. My hair gets tangled the same way his would. My cough is the same pitch as his. My eyes are the same troublesome gray as his. This is how I was born, you could say. Twins, maybe? Nah, I can't be twins. Well, maybe? No, because twins wouldn't share memories. Born? You know what the Sun Warners were researching? I'm guessing that's the name of the cult. Hearing that name again freezes me in place. The Sun Warners, his family. They were a doomsday cult hell-bent on bringing about the end of the world through the idea that they must destroy the sun, and they will then be reincarnated. A group that thrived on using uncertainty to gain members and fear to isolate them. A group I thought he had escaped, but it came back to haunt him in the end. A shudder rolls through me. I had hoped I'd never have to think of them again. They were heavy into studying reincarnation, but I didn't think he'd actually believed any of that. Oh, no. Huh? I've been cat. That didn't make him any less of a test subject. I think somehow his family was right. That reincarnation and reviving the dead isn't as far off as theory people isn't as far off a theory as people believe. But somehow they still ended up far off the mark with me. You think his family created you? Maybe. And now he's not sure. Is he being coy, or does he really not have a solid idea on what he is? Unfortunately, this model doesn't have any of the items set up yet, so cannot bonk this model. His family is all either dead or in prison, though. They couldn't have done whatever that would take. I don't know. Maybe before he died, they did something. And this is just a result of that. Maybe before he died. Yeah. That's what I'm going with so far. You don't think so, huh? Well, that was my only guess. If you're partially him, then where did your name come from? He pauses, surprised by the question. It's my name. How do you know your name is yours? I picked it out. Alright, bad comparison. I just know. I've always known it's my name. So, do you believe me so far? It's hard to disagree with him just based on his looks alone. His body is definitely the same, or at least a version of it, as his, albeit taken less care of. He hasn't told me anything I think is an outright lie either. I don't think he's lying about not fully understanding himself. But that leaves me with one question. Why did you come find me? The words escaped me. He has some of his memories, but would he have reached out to me if he knew who killed him? Is this him trying to get payback where he'll betray us again? I don't have the courage to say anything more. I saw a lot of his memories, and I know a lot about what happened between you two. But there's also a lot I don't know about. So, as my own decision, I want to stay here for a while. As your own decision? Yes, please treat us as separate people. Even without memories of my own, a face of my own, I want to make my own decisions. I want to make my own memories. And I want to do that with you and the guild. I didn't establish a guild. He did. I want to make friends with everyone on my own terms. A lump grows in my throat. Our guild has basically disbanded after we killed our first leader. But he doesn't seem to know that. So, please, let me stay here, at least for a while. I look up at him with his eyebrows slightly upturned, his eyes brimming with hope. Just seeing his face makes me torn between throwing up and wrapping my arms around him. Someone running around with his face, though? It could create a lot of problems if anyone notices a dead man is walking around. Yeah, just a bit. That'll cause just a little bit of problems. Just a little bit. There's something else, too. I want to watch him for a while, even if it hurts. See how he acts, and watch what he does. And there's something else, too, I want to watch. Something else, too. I want to watch him for a while. Even if it hurts. See how he acts. Watch what he does. Who is he, really? Why does he exist? Alright, you can stay with me. Really? Thank you. Hester does a small jump and skip, grinning ear to ear. The scene almost looks ridiculous. Cyrus was such a self-confident, aloof guy. Anything he did, joke or not, had an undercurrent of pride and self-assurance. Meanwhile, this guy... What did I get myself into? Chapter 2. Home. So now we know the first guy's name was Cyrus, the guy who got killed. Against my better judgment, I led Cyrus's doppelganger to my flat. We weave through the town, which proves to be a challenge in itself. I have to stop and drag him along every few steps. There are easier paths to take without so many people, but there's something I want to test. I just have to be sure of something. I stop at one of the booths and take a look at what they have. It's a wide variety of peppers and spices. Stuff that Charlotte would like to look at. Hester stops and takes a look for himself. Looking for something? I don't say anything. He leans closer, looking at my face to see if I heard him. I pretend to be more interested in the peppers. Before I take him to my house, I have to know if other people can see him. We caused a scene at the square, but they could have been looking at me in a hurry to leave, and suddenly stopping in the road. I probably looked scared out of my mind. It's not out of the question that alone would make people turn their heads. Hester looks a bit confused when I don't answer him. He looks at the tables in front of us, picking up one of the bell peppers. Say, Charlotte didn't send you out here for grocery shopping, did she? Okay, so he knows Charlotte. His words make me mentally stumble back, breaking my silence. What makes you say that? Oh, is she not here? With you looking at food. I just assumed. There's a lot of moving parts here, so I have to take a moment to think about what he said. I never mentioned Charlotte, nor said she lived with me in town. But if he does have Cyrus's memories, then it's not that far off an assumption that I stuck with the rest of the guild. Him not being Cyrus is like so mind-hurty, and we just started. This is so cool. I narrow my eyes at the wide-eyed man in front of me. I can't help but want to be suspicious of him, but... Sirs, do you have something you want? Of course, I forgot the whole reason I brought him to a farmer's market was so I wouldn't talk to him. Just looking. I take a step back from the booth. Aster puts the bell pepper he was holding back. When he does, the farmer eyes him up and down. He'll be back later. The man grunts before turning back and sitting down, angry he wasn't going to get a sale. I shake my head and walk away. At least I can tell people and see him, and I'm not having a full-blown episode. Maybe that's still to come. We make our way past several more booths, all bustling with people Oh, there's so much reading. Perusing the wares. I don't know if I need to be wary of others seeing his face or not. Cyrus had enemies, definitely. But most of them are gone, or in our guild. Or at least, his hair is longer and obscures his features more. Maybe it won't be a problem. For now. Esther watches a group of kids run around the food stalls as we walk by. His hair is unkempt, probably from his travels. Strands of his hair stick out from random places. It's rather distracting. Maybe out of habit. Maybe out of pity. I reach up to try to straighten it some. Hester turns towards me when he sees me move. And jumps back. Whoops. I gave him a heckin' spookin'. I'm sorry. He bounces back on his feet, playing it off. Huh? Do I have something in my hair? You have a lot of things in your hair. When's the last time you brushed it? It can't be that bad. I run my fingers through it when I can. Look at his face. I'll take that as a never. Wrong! I brush it whenever I'm staying somewhere that gives me things like a hairbrush. And how did you afford those places? I didn't. It's called hospitality. Okay. People take pity on the amnesiac and teary-eyed looking vagabonds. Weary from their travels, they really help you out once you tell them how you were gravely wounded and are on a long journey back home. Some people's kindness knows no bounds. Oh, so now you're just straight up manipulating people and taking advantage of them? No! That's not what he said. About breaking and entering. No, I think people genuinely let him in. Like, into their barn houses and stuff. Whew. Jesus, why am I yawning so much? He pouts, throwing his arms in protest. It's not manipulating. What part of that was a lie? You know, well, the being gravely injured part, but I'm staring at the on your way home option, and I'm kind of like, is it technically not his home? I mean, I guess technically it's not because it's Cyrus's home and not his, but it's his memories now, so... Now listen here, don't trigger my yawns. Too late, can't help it. Okay, but you're not gravely injured as far as I can tell. And you haven't told me otherwise, so... You being gravely injured. I think most people would call being killed a grave injury. Ah! Okay. None of them asked how you were injured or asked to see it. Words come in my mouth. Blech. The words come out of my mouth before I have time to word them more carefully. I don't want him to accidentally remember who killed him. He squints at me before shrugging. I told them I was stabbed and it took a while to heal. It just so happens that it healed so well you can't even tell it happened. He taps his torso around the area I stabbed him. So he remembers that, but he doesn't remember who did it. I'm starting to think he does know who did it. Got a sneaking suspicion. It doesn't take us long to reach my flat. The outside has seen better days, with parts of the paneling peeling and the bricks chipped. The front door is a plain brown mat showing its wear. A few potted plants line the windows and front doorstep. Most people would call it a shabby or quaint in a pitiful way. But it's become my new home over the past few months. It's also rather cheap living, especially for two people. Ooh. Esther walks around it, curious at every nook and cranny. What's so exciting about the outside? I'm just impressed in general. You have a whole place for yourself now. Well... Let's get inside and then I'll explain more. It's gonna be awkward as Charlotte's home. The interior of the flat is cramped and not much better for wear than the outside. With 3 bathrooms, 2 baths, a small kitchen, and a tiny sitting room, every corner of floor space is well used. It looks just how I left it an hour or so ago, with the lights off and everything. Charlotte isn't home just yet, so we have some time. Some. Probably not much. I drag Aster to the sitting room, telling him every few steps he can expect the decor later. Good. I'm glad Charlotte isn't here. What would you have done if she was? Push you back outside as fast as I could. Now onto the important stuff. How much do you remember about our guild? He kicks his feet. A sober, more solemn look washes over him. He established a guild to take out the Sunmourners for good. You were his first recruit. Aster's sentences are short, almost abruptly so. After a pause, it's clear that's where he intends to leave it. What about everyone else? Eventually, 3 others came to join the guild. Charlotte, a female chef, Bryn, an ex-guard, and Alexei, Charlotte's younger brother and a hunter. It's subtle that he describes them more passively, as if reading from a book rather than recounting memories. They came to join a guild rather than he recruited them or met them or fought with them. Do you remember recruiting them? Not completely, no. I remember the 2 of us winding up somewhere down south where we met Charlotte. That's about it. The rest is hazy or not there at all. Like I said, I only have parts of his memories. It's a lot of parts, but not every detail. I see his life through a somewhat foggy mirror, not a clear puzzle with missing pieces that I can fill in the details of. Some places on the mirror are cracked, or the condensation is too thick to see on it. He sighs, rubbing the back of his neck. I think that's enough time as kitty cat. There we go. That should be good. What do you remember about each of them? I remember a handful of our travels. Charlotte is sweet, Bryn is unserious, and Alexei is aloof. We traveled together for a couple of years, so I remember some of it. It's not much, but I don't know how a stranger would find this out without stalking each of us for a while. What were the Sunmourners after? A way to cure death for good for everyone. They preached that life was a limitation placed onto us, and it was our destiny to transcend it by discovering how to make people come back to life. Their goal was to destroy the sun at the end of their ritual, which would kill everyone on Earth, and then everyone would be revived if their ritual went correctly. But you 4 stopped that. And from that, I was created somehow. This is better than nothing, I suppose. Still want to learn more about how his memories work. Be able to gain new memories over time, or maybe through outside stimulus? If his current memories become hazier as time goes on, or clearer? He slumps in his chair, his gaze slowly sleeping over the room. Don't you have anything to tell me? Like what? Like what everyone's been doing since then. Anything else I should know about? Oh, he's right. It'd be helpful if he weren't completely in the dark about what's happened since he died. We bought a flat together to live in, but it's mainly just for myself and Charlotte. Bryn and Alexei stop by from time to time, but they're busy with their own jobs. Charlotte does odd jobs around town, mostly helping restaurants and bakeries when she can. She could have been a chef at any of the places in town, but she wants to sell goods at her own pace at the markets here. Bryn has a new job as a ward at a children's home, helping kids without parents or separated from their parents readjust to life and such. It's a collection of various children's homes across several towns, so they end up traveling a lot. They swing by here usually once every other week or so. Alexi went back to his and Charlotte's home to care for their family. He hunts in their forest for a local butcher, and only comes back here when he's making a haul. We don't see him as often since he stays further away. Most of the time, it's just myself and Charlotte. His eyebrows crease slightly as the wheels turn in his head. And do you like that? What's that supposed to mean? You know, living with someone else. Living with Charlotte. It's better than camping out and basically being homeless. A little pout forms on his face. His head turns away. Yeah. I can tell he was trying to get more at, do you like living with her? But I dodged the question. Well, we can... I open my mouth to say something when the front door opens. Anything I plan on saying leaves me immediately as my mind goes blank. In a panic, I pull Aster off of his chair and push him towards the closet. Hazel, are you home? I thought I heard your violin playing from the square earlier, but no one was there. They told me someone that looked like you had quickly packed it up and left. Are you feeling okay? Oh, there you are. Charlotte steps into the sitting room with us. Well, with me. Aster is getting acquainted with the closet. But it's Pride Month. He should come out the closet. She has her arms wrapped around a wicker basket full of bread and vegetables. More bags are on her shoulder, most likely filled with some meat. Her thick cape trails behind her, giving her a more mature look. Unlike me, her hair is actually rather kept up and shiny from being well cared for. I'm alright. Just alright. She takes a step closer, putting her hand up to my forehead. Her cheeks are slightly flushed from the cold outside. A flash of concern crosses her face as she looks at me. I reach over to her and grab the basket on her arms, whisking it away to the kitchen. I'm fine. Just got stage fright. It's been a while since I performed, you know. Hey, don't walk away like that. Like what? Let's put these groceries down first. Hazel. So, where did you go in town? Did you have lunch with Bren? Despite her protest, I successfully lead her to the kitchen. I begin unpacking what she bought. Defeated, she puts her jacket away. We were going to, but then Alexi told me he was in town. So we met up with him for a while before Bryn had to run back to the children's home. So everyone is back in town right now. What are the odds? What's Alexi been up to? He'll be able to ask him tonight when he comes over for supper. Oh! Oh no. We in trouble. Is he staying tonight? Yes, both of them said they would. Bryn's stuff is still in the guest room. Oh yeah, we in trouble. We in big trouble. Both of them? I hope Alexi realizes he'll be on the couch. So they'll all be coming over tonight and spending the night. If Aster were in the room, I'd be giving him the side-eye right now. This timing is horrendous. Almost too horrendous. Do I tell her about it now or wait until they're all here? How do I even break it to them? Do I pretend I never saw him this morning and he just happened to find us all? How do you introduce a reanimated corpse? Charlotte hands me a fresh baguette to put in our bread container. That's why I picked up some food before coming back, but I fear I didn't get enough. Preferably, I'd like to make a stew for dinner and have enough for leftovers, but I might need some more potatoes with it. Alexi likes a lot of potatoes in his servings. Maybe I'll have enough for tonight. You'll just have to get some more for me tomorrow, okay? My stomach rolls. I've trusted them all through thick and thin, through countless life or death situations. But this... I need to have someone on my side first before everyone is here. If I wait until tonight to show him off, it's likely to cause a massive panic. Seeing the man you buried walking right after eating dinner? Is it that hard of a decision? Uh-huh. She takes a step closer to me, looking me up and down. You zoned out again. I asked if you wanted garlic or honey butter bread. Oh, honey butter is fine. How late did you sleep in this morning? Not too late. I got up and went to the square, didn't I? Scrinity doesn't let up for a moment. Did something happen when you were there? It sounded like you left in a hurry. I need to tell her. I have to. I swallowed a frog in my throat back down, clenching my fist to keep my nerves at bay. Yes, something did happen. I saw someone. Who? It'd be easier to introduce you than to explain it. Introduce me? What, you've gotten that close to someone so quickly? Sure, introduce them to me whenever. Let's go now. She practically drops the bell peppers she's holding. Now? They're here in the other room. You brought someone home? The sooner I get this over with, the better. Oh, no. I'm scared. I take her back to the sitting room and get her to sit down after some coaxing. She'll need to be sitting. The room is quiet. Aster? Aster? There's no response. The only thing we hear is the sound of the grandfather clock. My heart sinks lower with each clop of the horse's hooves. Don't tell me. No, people at the farmer's market saw him. People turned their heads for him. They walked around him. He was there. And so he is here, damn it. I marched over to the closet and the swing end open, only to find... He fell asleep. Oh my stars, he fell asleep. Aster slumped on the tiny ground in the closet, asleep. I've had enough of this farce. Get out of there! I dragged him out by his jacket collar, letting him spill onto the floor of Charlotte's feet. He finally wakes up as his knees hit the wooden floor with a solid thud. What? Aster pushes himself off of the floor and sits upright, rubbing around his neck. He looks at me and then at Charlotte. Their eyes both become wide upon seeing each other. Charlotte sits back in her chair, aghast at the scene. There's an uncomfortably long moment of silence. It must have only been a few seconds, but it feels painstakingly dragged out by the tension in the air. I huff and break the ice. This lout was stalking me in the square. He opens his mouth to protest, probably the stalking part, but glances at Charlotte's terrified face and thinks again. He says he's not Cyrus, but rather something of a doppelganger. I don't know what to make of it. I'm not a doppelganger. I said it's reincarnation. Doppelganger just means someone who looks like someone else. I'm not calling you a ghost or anything. Besides, I don't fully understand the reincarnation idea. That implied you've only been alive for a few months at most, right? Or that you are actually him. He folds his arms, looking away. No matter what you try to label the situation, none of them are a perfect fit. Maybe the label is the least I should be worrying about. What? Her voice is small, almost a whisper, like she's afraid someone might overhear. Aster stands up carefully, dusting his jacket off. My name is Aster. I'm a doppelganger of Cyrus. I have his looks and parts of his memories, but I'm not entirely him. Like I told Hazel, I can see all of his memories. I know somewhat about the guild and you all, and that's what made me want to seek you out. I want to make my own memories with his friends, make amends with his previous friends. Please treat me as if I'm a different version of him. That's standalone. I'm a different person. Different person? Try to clasp her mouth. She tries to hide it, but her hand won't stop shaking. He stopped me while I was performing and made me drag him back here. That's not at all what happened. I was walking through town and heard a violin, so I wanted to see it. And I happened to find you. Happened to. Just have to be the contrarian, don't you? He folds his arms and looks away. The crease in his brows slowly turns from a frown to something more like worry. This is the only thing I have. Even if I can't stay here, please don't kick me out of town. It's not like we could do that anyway. Charlotte's hand tightens into a shaky fist. With pursed lips, she stands up and approaches him. Magic couldn't recreate this. He peers at his face, looking him over closer. Aster looks petrified. He doesn't dare move, but looks like he might bolt at any second. Your eyes. Hey, are you feeling well? Aster jolts up as if the question snapped him out of his stupor. Feeling well? There's dark circles under your eyes. Where have you been sleeping? Ah, well, for this last part of my travel, I didn't find many houses, and the ones I did see shooed me away. So... That's not an answer. And you. She whips around to glare at me. I shirk away. How did you miss the bags under his eyes? How clearly ill is he? I give a half-hearted shrug, but it's hard to answer her when she's so intense. I think he looks pretty good for a dead guy. The main reason I didn't notice anything was wrong with him is because I was too scared from seeing a walking corpse. Of course I didn't notice if he was a little worse for the wear. He's supposed to be dead. Thank you. Pretty good. With his hair and those clothes, you're practically tracking in dirt with every step. Can you even see through those bangs? Charlotte asks him the question, but immediately turns around, opening up drawers left and right. Aster starts to get nervous. Of course I can. It's just a little longer than I'm used to. We can fix that. She turns around, revealing a pair of scissors in her hands and a cold look in her eyes. I can fix that. Run, Aster, run! Run! Run, Aster! Hey, I'm fine with this length. I just let me borrow a hairbrush and I'll be fine. Oh, definitely. After it gets a trim. You're not. Hey, Hazel, you're gonna say me something, aren't you? A little trim wouldn't hurt. You can take a bath after she cuts a little off. How much is a little? Say, why don't you sit down for me? If what they described Cyrus is true, then I don't think this can be Cyrus, guys. If this is Cyrus, something went wrong with that reincarnation thing. It changed his whole personality. No matter how much the glint in her eyes scared him, the thought of disobeying her was out of the question. Aster hesitantly steps over to where she's monitoring to. He looks more like a lamb to the forced slaughter. Chin up. Charlotte snips away at the dead end. She keeps the scissors about an inch away from the tips, leaving just enough room to get the excess off and allow new growth. Trimmings fall to the floor around them. I just know I'll be forced to sweep them up before company arrives tonight. Snip, snip, snip. A few moments later, she finishes cutting and brushing his hair, fluffing it up as a last touch. She stands back, proud of her handiwork. Now you don't look so destitute. Just be sure to clean it good to get any extra trimmings that didn't fall out. You know, she took this a lot better than I thought she would. You know, with a dead man coming back to life. But I guess with his explanation, who wouldn't? You know, in this world. Who wouldn't understand? Especially since everyone keeps saying that magic couldn't recreate this. Alright, who's next? Huh? What? Huh? Huh? Hold up. She turns to me, picking back up the scissors. I don't. You don't what? You don't feel good? Because I know you need a haircut. I didn't agree to this. She holds up a bit of the tips of my hair to where I could see it. I didn't realize it was past my shoulders now. I'm fine with this length. A year ago, you wouldn't stop complaining once it hit the bottom of your neck. You just haven't wanted to take care of it. Sit down and it'll be quick. I mean, if he doesn't like it touching his neck, then yeah, I guess I can understand that. Him letting it grow out and depression and all that jazz. Like a child who realized he wasn't going to be the only one punished, Aster smirks and steps away. I give up and reluctantly sit down. I give. Snip, snip. I'm reminded of the last time she cut my hair. We were staying in a far-off town preparing to meet with the governor. He was hosting a banquet for us, getting rid of a thorn in the side. a sun mourner's compound just outside of his jurisdiction. I accidentally clicked out. Hang on. Yeah! Thank you for the raid! I still need to fix that so it says love pups, but thank you for the raid! Welcome in! I am Althemia, and today we are playing, I still don't know how to pronounce the name of this game, Asphodelium, I think is the name, and if you have to raid and run, I totally understand. But thank you, thank you! La 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 la. She insisted we all look our best before meeting with them, as we would be asking for their help and assistance for a long trek. To her, that included hair trims for everyone. I accidentally closed out the chat. Whoopsies. Hester stands back from us, admiring the mostly empty shelves lining the sitting room. He doesn't say anything, instead letting the silence be filled with the sound of the scissors. Charlotte then takes the brush and begins slowly brushing through the mess on my head. There's something calming about it, but... Sorry, have to do that. It's 4 a.m. and I'm a bit tired. Yeah, go get some sleep. Jeez. I don't even think I can make it past 10 p.m. today. It's like 9 p.m. right now. But I hope you had a good stream, Jen! I can't take my eyes off of him. Charlotte seems to have already warmed up enough to him. Maybe she thinks it's actually him. Maybe she's just playing nice. I don't know yet. I just want to know what's going through his head. All done. Now, was it that bad? You two act like I'm going to cut you or something. I do still have a head, I guess. It feels like a weight has been lifted off of me. I didn't trim that much. I was afraid you'd make him go bald as penance. Ah! I knew I should have been more wary. Now she has an idea for payback tonight after I'm asleep. Watch your step and lock the door. Don't encourage him. Tears form around her eyes. She glances between both of us before quickly turning around to hide her face. Charlotte. I'm fine. Just... I've got to get any extra plate of food ready for tonight. You can get some rest before then. She leaves the room in a hurry, still covering her face. Hester looks at the ground. You should get a bath and some half-decent sleep before dinner tonight. I'll show you where you can sleep afterwards. Our home feels different as I walk down the halls alone with a stranger, briefly showing him each room as we pass by. The house is on edge, wondering why I brought him here and what this person will do next. Every step feels risky. Every word feels tense. You can use the bath here. It's a bit small, but it does the job. Charlotte has the other bath on the other side of the flat. And here's my room. I let the door swing open to my bedroom, and it's just as I left it a few hours ago. Clothes thrown haphazardly with a layer of dust growing on the furniture. Didn't wake up this morning expecting to come home with company. I would have tried cleaning up a bit if I'd known. Probably. Hester steps in, taking notes of everything, as if there's much to see. There's a lot he could probably say about the state of the room, but he doesn't. We only have one guest bedroom, and Bryn has already claimed it. Alexi will probably sleep on the couch tonight. So, at least for while they're here, you can stay in my room. Really? There's an uptick in his voice. Clearly surprised. It's not exactly how I wanted things to go either, but... Unless you want to sleep outside or in the hallway, yes. Tonight we'll find some blankets and make you a mat on the floor to sleep on. But right now, you can sleep in the bed. Should be more comfortable than grass, at least. His gaze meanders to the floor before looking back at me. Thank you. I know this is all so sudden, and I'll find a way to repay you all, to make amends. For now, though, all I can say is thank you, again. Maybe it'll lose some of its meaning if I say it too much, though, so I need to hurry up and be useful. He laughs to himself. I find it hard to join him, though. A small smile creeps up on my lips. Maybe he's here to kill me. That'd be better than him killing everyone else. Maybe he's just waiting to see how far we'll go for him before stabbing me while I sleep tonight. Every day with you was hell. Oh! Alright, get cleaned up and then take a nap or something. Just try not to fall asleep in a tub and drown. I don't want to have to explain that. Oh, and you can see if any of my clothes will fit you. I doubt they will, but you never know. Okay, okay. With one last glance back, I leave him to it. Chapter 3. Dinner. Wondering if we should continue, if I should call it there. Now we'll continue. We'll finish chapter 3 and then we'll save chapter 4 and beyond for another stream. The smell of chicken broth permeates the halls as I walk back to find Charlotte busy in the kitchen. I never know what to do to help her when she's cooking, so I hover a couple of feet away. A pot boils on the stove. Her knife chops through vegetables she's laid out. Words are hard to come by right now. All of us played a part in his death, but I was the one who dealt the final blow. I was the one who stabbed him, and when we all buried him. But months before that, he betrayed us. Instead of staying with us to shut down the Sunwarners, he rejoined them. He was their final key to ending the world, and instead of stopping them, Charlotte stops chopping an onion and scrapes it into the pot with the chicken. It's quiet, but I can see her give out an exasperated sigh. So, what do you think? She folds a dish towel and lays it on the counter before placing a hot skillet on top. Even though her mind is clearly elsewhere, she doesn't make any sloppy mistakes. What do you think? You can't answer like that. I can't answer that. And what do you expect me to say? She starts cutting a potato. Her movements are fast, hitting the chopping board with a clear cut each time. She'll slow down as she reaches the end. Think there are parts he hasn't told us yet. Things he's still holding back on saying. Things he doesn't know how to say. And I also think there's a lot he doesn't know. I don't think he fully understands himself or why things are happening this way. It's hard to say what his intentions are or what he's trying to do. It's about as hard as figuring out what was on his mind at any given point. Even now, they're both like complete strangers. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see her glance up at me. Does he know how he died? Yes and no. That's a no, then. He knows he was stabbed, but I don't think he knows who did it. I think he knows. If he remembers that. But you don't think he... I don't know. I feel my body sink down into a chair. I hold my head in my hands. I don't know, Charlotte. I don't know how much he knows or why he's here or what he's planning. An hour ago, I was sure I had gone insane. That's still on the table. Maybe this is some karmic retribution. There's a hand that starts rubbing my shoulders. I put my hand on the small of her back and pull her just a bit closer, just enough to tell she's real. How are we going to tell them? A contemplative murmur leaves her lips. There's nothing else to say. Nothing else to plan. Whatever we decide will go horribly wrong. Yahoo! I held the door as Bryn struts inside, their arms full of bread and pastries. There's no telling how much Bryn brought, or how many places they had to raid to get it all. Alexei silently follows behind them, carrying a couple of bags and a single bottle of wine. Come in, come in. She hugs them both around the neck, despite having seen them just this morning. A lot has happened since then, though. I feel a hand on my head, messing up my hair. Here, I brought you some pinwheels and croissants like you like. Just don't let them get moldy, okay? Don't think that means you're going to eat all that bread tonight. There's plenty of baked chicken and vegetables to eat before getting full on wheat. Charlotte whisks away one of the baskets in their hands and hurries down the hall with it. Alexei follows her, tossing his bags in the sitting room. Heh. Bryn motions for me to come closer. I embrace them. Their coats smelling like a warm bakery. It's easy to see why the kids like them. Their arms make you feel safe. After a short moment, we part. Say, everything's okay, isn't it? What kind of vague question is that? I didn't hug them for too long, did I? You know, just making sure everything's alright. Charlotte told us you're in between jobs right now. Even if it's not exactly what you want to do, I think it's more important for you to put your mind to work on something, even if not for the money. Give yourself something to focus on, especially if it has you around others. You get what I mean? The coy look in their eyes betrays the soft smile on their lips. I look away towards the ground. Yes, I do. I'll keep that in mind. I lift my head up to look at them, but my head is pushed down. They mess with my hair even more. Hey! Do more than just keep it in mind, or I'll drag you to the children's home and make you perform for volunteer work. Well, maybe we'll feed you lunch. Depends on how good you play. And they laugh at their own idea. I can't help but smile back. That wouldn't be too bad. You ever performed for mainly kids? A few times. Then you'd be fine. I'll have to bring you some time this week. Sounds like a plan. Oh, they're so cute together. Ah, my nose though. We rejoin Charlotte and Alexei in the kitchen. The four of us in here, it has quickly become crowded. I take the rest of the bread from Bryn and put it up. Ha, Chardonnay will go great with that, with what I made. It's like you already knew what I had in mind. I remembered you liked it. He glances over at me as I walk closer before turning back to what he was doing. Charlotte waves her hands towards the bottle. I'm sure we'll all help drink it, won't we? I'll take a glass. You'll have to take more than that if we want to get through a bottle. It's not like it'll spoil that quickly. We'll both be in town for a few days. Great, more time to bring it out. She pops the top and begins pouring 4 glasses. You don't need a special occasion to bring it out. Sure we do. This wasn't cheap, you know. It wasn't very much. Alexei takes a slow sip from his glass. Despite his typically quiet nature, Alexei is even more soft-spoken tonight than usual. I decided to let Charlotte do most of the talking. Your last hunt must have gone really well, huh? I heard you were able to find several boars. I found more than I was able to kill and bring back. Will you hunt the rest when you go back? No, not yet. I need some time to mature and repopulate the area. It might throw the ecosystem out of order if I take too many out. She holds her hand to her face, cradling her cheek with a sad look on her face. The butchers won't be too happy to hear that. It just means I'll have to find another hunting place when I leave. Ah, my nose! That also means no more nice wine for a while. True. Charlotte turns back to the stove and begins pouring some vegetables into a serving bowl. Hazel, can you set the table for me? Alexei, put the chicken on the table. I nod and head to our cabinet. I reach for the plates when I remember. We don't need 4 plates. We need 5. We have an extra person in the house tonight. A cold shiver runs down my back. I forgot so quickly. No, it's not that I forgot. It's that I intentionally pushed him out of my mind. I didn't want to think about him, not while they're here. They haven't noticed anything yet, but I don't know how long this will last. Our faint might be over in an hour, or it might be over tonight. If only we could delay it a little longer, to wait until we understood more about him, and were able to understand his motivations. With them staying tonight, it will be nigh impossible to keep it a secret through the night. Should we at least wait until after dinner? Will they lose their appetite? Will they get up and leave? Or start a fight? Hey, Charlotte. The words come out of my mouth before I fully understand what I want to say next. But anything I had planned is lost. There's a scream from the other end of the flat. I turn around. Charlotte and Alexia are standing beside the kitchen table. Bryn is... Where is Bryn? Where did they go? I sprint away from the cabinet and make a dash toward the scream. The pit in my stomach grows with each step. There's only one reason. Only one. Only one. I throw open the door to my room, which was already left ajar. At the foot of my bed is Bryn, sprawled on the ground with an incredulous look on their face. Sitting up in my bed is Aster, who almost looks more scared. What? Bryn! Just a few steps behind me, Charlotte and Alexi round a corner and walk in the threshold. They both take a step back at the scene. Uh-oh. This isn't what it looks like. That's basically what my brain wants to say. This isn't what it looks like. What you see is an illusion. Need to fix something super quickly. Where is it? Ah, there it is. This isn't what it looks like. Listen, this isn't what it looks like. Isn't what? Bryn stands, eyeing Aster and myself warily. They back up against the wall. What does this look like to you? No, wait, you knew. My wary gaze turns into something sharper, more fearful. To the side, Alexi throws a disdainful look at me. This isn't what it looks like, believe me. This is Aster. He's something of a doppelganger. A doppelganger? I found him uptown today, loitering around. Though I guess it'd be more accurate to say he found me. You can guess what my reaction was. He says he's not entirely him, though. He looks like him and has a few of his memories, but not everything. I try to gloss over the part as quickly as possible to get to the rest of it. That's best to let him explain. He's homeless and desperately needed some kind of help, so I brought him back here. There's not a lot else I could do. You can say something at any time, you know. You know, I'd be scared to talk too if someone just walked into the room I was staying in and screamed at me. Brendan and Lexi tense up at the sounds of his voice. Even if it was only 2 quick words, it's enough to send a jolt through them. What Hazel said was right. You can think of me as something of a doppelganger of him. I'm a person that looks like him and has parts of his memories. The first actual memory is from a few months ago, probably right after he died. He looks between us before looking back down and continuing. I traveled around on my own trying to figure out who I was. At first I assumed I was him, but after a while I realized I couldn't be. I'm someone else, so I decided to find one of you. I don't fully know what happened during his life, but I know he died young. That's why I want to make my own memories. I'm my own person. I have my own name. It's all that's mine, so I want my own memories too. The room falls deathly silent. Even breathing feels hard with the stillness in the air. Aster said all there was to be said, except... Why us? Alexi steps further into the room, putting a foot in front of Charlotte. Despite everything Aster said, him and Bryn still have a sour, untrusting look. Need help. There's not really anyone else I can go to. I don't have a family of my own. He doesn't have one anymore either. That doesn't mean we have to help you. This is your problem. Find someone else. They're the only ones from my memory that seem trustworthy. Trustworthy? Do you think you know anything about that? Bryn steps forward, but Charlotte cuts them off. Supper will get cold if we don't eat now. Come on, let's eat. She grabs onto Alexi and drags him out the door before he even has a chance to argue. Bryn takes a long look at Aster and then back at me. Don't just go along with everything because of what he says. We'll talk about this later. With that, they stomp out of the room. A prickling sensation crawls up my neck as I realize I've been holding my breath. In a big sigh, I let it all out, almost falling to the floor in the process. My heart is about to beat out of my chest. I guess that could have gone worse. Can you bring me back a plate after everyone's done? All I can do is nod and shut the door on my way out. I grab my glass and sit down at the table. The exhaustion of the day is probably apparent on my face. There's nothing I can do about that, or care to. Charlotte sets the last dish down, an ornate gravy boat she found from a traveling merchant who let her have it for a discount, and takes her apron off. The table is covered in a variety of food, from every color of the rainbow, from roasted chicken to steamed vegetables to various other sides. The low candle lighting makes the feast look even more extravagant, fit for the nobles we used to meet. Bryn grabs a roll, and the sour look on their face alleviating with each bite. They were always the hangry type, I guess. Where's the plates? Huh? There's only 4 plates on the table. We need 5. He'll be staying here even if the 2 of us tried to kick him out, won't he? Then he should eat with us. His expression remains rather neutral, but there's still tension with each of his words. So, I'll get another plate. It's been so long since we all ate together. She springs up, suddenly excited by the thought of it. A meal together like old times, putting the past behind us and making a new future going forward. Don't get me wrong, Charlotte. I don't trust the bastard as far as I can throw him. But if he's going to be under this roof, then I don't want him off in a different room. I want to keep an eye on him. Right. Her smile falters as she sets the 5th plate on the table. I get up, with Bryn following behind me, and go back to my room. Aster, I know you can't be asleep already. I push his shoulder, making him panic. I'm up. He scrambles as he falls out of bed, landing on the side across from us. Why am I up? Is it morning already? It's barely been 5 minutes. I want you to come eat with us. Now come on, or Alexi will have eaten all the scalloped potatoes. Okay. He straightens his shirt, trying to make himself look somewhat presentable. Anything to avoid Bryn's cold stare. Why'd you let him sleep in your room? You're staying in the guest room. I think that's the only logical... Like, you're in the guest room, man. Because you're staying in the guest room and it only has 1 bed. Since I'm the one that brought him here, then I'll be the one to put up with him. I put out some mat on the floor, something after dinner. But why were you in my room earlier? They're already turned towards the kitchen, not bothering to answer me. I guess no answer for me. The meal that followed was the most suffocating I'd ever had, to say the least. Pastor refuses to talk unless prompted to, and even then his responses are mostly made up of mumbles and stutters. It's plain to see that this can't be exactly him, given how many nervous antics Aster has. But it's still hard to digest food sitting next to someone you buried. Charlotte does her best to alleviate some of the tension by diverting the conversation to a more benign topic like Bryn's job. He's helped for a few moments, but ultimately dissolved back into a quiet meal. Feels like everything is tiring to talk about. I take a slow bite of the fried corn. It's not overly sweet and warms me up as I swallow it. Despite how good the meal is, I'm struggling to eat anymore. To my side, Aster pokes at the chicken thigh on his plate. Alexi takes his 6th bread roll. Charlotte sips her wine slowly. Why did he betray us? Charlotte's wine glass hits the table with a louder than normal clink. Alexi munches on his bread in silence, his expression darkening. I look up at Bryn. They stare at Aster. It's a loveless look in their eyes, but one that doesn't convey anger so much as disappointment. Despite all of our attempts to move on, to wash the blood off of our hands, that was the one question I always thought would go unanswered. The one question that no one alive could answer. Until now. Aster stops poking his chicken, but doesn't look concerned by the question. If anything, he was most likely preparing for it the entire day. I don't know. Bullshit! Aster barely gets the words out before Bryn cuts him off. He looks sad. If I had to guess, he felt like he was trapped. No matter what he did, he would never be able to fully leave the cult. To my surprise, Charlotte is the one who speaks up. But he did. He was able to travel the world. Aster sighs. But they always found him no matter what. He probably thought it was only a matter of time. Yeah, I don't know why I bother at asking you. It's not like someone else would understand him or tell us. Bryn stands, grabbing their plate. And thanks for the meal, Charlotte. It was good. Did you get enough to eat? She has to say it in a hurry, as Bryn is already putting their plate away to be cleaned. I'm fine. Alexi wordlessly follows suit, leaving the dinner table. Charlotte stares at her plate, unable to keep her solemn expression tucked away any longer. I look away before she starts crying again. A cold grasp clamped itself around my throat. It's so hard to breathe with the atmosphere like this. It's even harder to find any words to say. Hey! Aster stands up abruptly, slamming his hands down on the table. It's enough to make me jump in my seat and stop everyone in their tracks. We all look at him in bewilderment. Just because you're mad at me, that doesn't mean... It doesn't mean you can leave all of the dishes for Charlotte to clean. That's not where I expected that to go. A stunned silence hangs in the air. Aster practically looks like he's on the verge of tears. Meanwhile, Bryn and Alexi look like they were caught in the act. No, I was going to come back later. I'm just putting my plate up before I clean the dirty dishes. Aster sits back down, having made his statement. Charlotte nibbles on a slice of a carrot. I can tell she's trying to hide her smile. With a small sigh of relief, I help them clean up. I open the dusty hallway closet. It slowly creaks open to reveal nothing. Another bust. Alexi grabbed his own blankets for the couch a while ago, but when he did, I didn't realize that was probably all we have. We've barely been in this place for a few months. It shouldn't be a surprise that we only have enough pillows and blankets for a max of 4 people. But here I am, trying to find something from nothing. Whoopsies. I close the door and make my walk of defeat back to my room. Good night. Before I'm able to... I get English. Before I'm able to, Charlotte waves at me from the other end of the hall. Good night. I open my mouth to say something else, but decide against it. Lock your door tonight. But I doubt I have to warn her. Aster sits up when he sees me walk in. He looks up at me expectantly, curious why I'm empty-handed. Alexi took the rest of the blankets we have. Well, it's more like we only have enough for 1 extra person. The rest of the statement, we weren't expecting a 5th person to ever be here, goes without saying. Oh. His voice is small, as if I needed any more guilt tripping in my life. I scratched the back of my head and looked back at the mirror to my side. Oh. So that's us. My hair is shorter now, much closer than it was months ago. With it trimmed back, I'm able to better see the gaunt look of my face, my slimmer than usual cheeks, my baggy eyes. Like a ghost, Aster rests on the edge of my bed behind me, waiting on my next move. He knows more than he's letting on. Maybe he even knows why Cyrus betrayed us. Maybe this is his prelude to killing us all in our sleep. But the fact still remains. I killed him. I tried to knock him out. I tried to gravely injure him. And when that didn't work... well, change of plans. When they leave, you can stay in the guest bedroom. But until then, you can sleep in my bed. Eh? For just a tiny moment, his voice hits the cusp of cracking. His eyes grow wider. It... really? Is it big enough? Bed for two? You'll have one side and I'll have the other. I doubt many of my clothes will fit you, though. Tomorrow you can beg Bryn or Alexi for something more your size. Aster doesn't say anything, instead looking away almost bashfully. He palms the back of his neck. Does he remember? Good night. Good night. A sudden knock on the door sends a jolt through me. I manage to respond, but almost too eagerly. My whole body is on needles. I don't know the last time I was this on edge. Hopefully I'll be able to sleep it off. I grab some clothes and head to the bathroom to change. I normally don't sleep in a binder, but I normally don't sleep in the same bed as someone. When I walk back into the room, Aster doesn't look at me, much less face me. His head is pushed deep into his pillow with the covers drawn up, sort of like a child pretending to be asleep. I crawl into bed and lay my head down. If I die tonight, if he kills me with his own hands, then that is my atonement. Good night. Oh. That night, I dreamt about how I first met him. Washing dishes was by far the worst part of my day every day, second only by waiting tables. Nothing is as soul-sucking as customer service, but washing dishes comes close. I soaked, and scrubbed, and rinsed, and dried. Surprisingly, you can't finish cleaning dishes for a restaurant in just a few minutes. You'd think that'd be obvious, but every day I tried to avoid that reality. Every single day. Washing, cleaning, waiting. When I was younger, I dreamed of joining a traveling circus or a caravan of performers. Any moment I wasn't cleaning or serving, I would learn to play an instrument. I wasn't very good, but I had a childish hope that one day we'd have a customer who would take an interest in my music and offer me a job far away from here. Somewhere where life was more than washing and rinsing and drying. Grr. And then there was a stray cat. Sounds were overly loud, but it was enough to break me from my concentration on the dishes. I tossed a drying rag to the side and walked out the back. Hey, Scrant! My voice was carried away by the wind as soon as I stepped outside. There wasn't any stray cats meowing, but instead... a man laid out among the fresh linen I had just put up an hour ago. Hey! I ran over to him, flipping him over to see his face. His eyes were closed, but I could tell he was in some sort of pain. After a cursory inspection, I didn't see any blood or injuries, just a pale man. Hey, who are you? He couldn't even look up at me. Damn it! I dragged him inside the kitchen and propped him against the wall. So good. His stomach rumbled, but not nearly as terrible as it was before. And still hard to believe all of those noises were coming from a person's stomach. Is that really all you needed? Some food? Ah, yeah. Thank you. He slurped up the rest of the meal before I could even tell he was almost done. 2 whole servings, gone in just a few minutes. Whew, that really hit the spot. I'd hope it did after all you ate. I guess I was a bit parched. You ate more than most families do in one sitting. What, have you not eaten in weeks? You could say that, yeah. He grinned at me, a smile spread from ear to ear. It was bright enough to make me think it was insincere, but there was something to it. Why have you been skipping meals? I'm on the run. From the cops? From my family. What'd you do? You automatically assume it's my fault? You're the one on the run. Let's just say I didn't like living there. What was it like? You ask all your patrons that? I crossed my legs, sitting down beside him. Most of our patrons are paying customers. Ah. I figured you won't be paying anytime soon, so the least you could do is give me a reason to tell my parents why we're missing a few bowls of soup and bread. I'm not a freeloader. He murmured to himself, probably thinking up a story to tell. It didn't really matter to me, though it would be lying to say I wasn't at least a bit interested in why he'd fled home. Fleeing home, running away, it was something that I've never actually considered. I'd always hoped someone would whisk me away with the promise of a new exciting life rather than me leaving all by myself without any notice. Families can be strict, you know? Mine were overly so. That's why I'm out on my own. My own life, my own rules, my own journey. Who wouldn't want that? And what does that entail? Exploring the country, traveling from town to town, listening to the news. His voice became hushed as he looked around the kitchen before continuing. Can you keep a secret? Depends. Is it they'll throw you in jail kind of secret? You really think I'm a criminal, don't you? I don't know, stranger. What's the secret? He leaned in closer, his eyes narrowed. I hadn't been nervous before, but I swallowed hard at this. I'm hunting down a cult. Hunting a cult? Oh, you are listening. That's right, I'm chasing down a cult. And its members. I think they're planning something dangerous, and I don't want that to happen. Right now, I'm looking for more info on what exactly they have planned. You think they're doing something dangerous. And where did you get that information? Let's just say I overheard it at a previous place I was staying at. Something really heinous, and I want to find out more. Even if they weren't, it's a cult. Cults shouldn't exist. His words barely registered with me at the time. I had heard words like cults before, but I didn't have a solid grasp of it. But to say something shouldn't exist, that was hard to wrap my head around. Who gets to decide what should and shouldn't exist? Why? He paused for a moment just to stare at me. Like his words were hard for me to understand mine. It must have been equally hard for him. Because they're a cult. Do you know what that means? Of course. What is it then? I'm an adult, you know. You are? A cult? A cult is just some place for stupid people to get brainwashed. They're not stupid. He had said it so quietly, so preciously, I can still remember his exact cadence even now. It sent a shiver through me. They're not stupid. They're just vulnerable. They're gullible. They're in precarious positions. They have no outside assistance. They're not stupid. They're being taken advantage of. I couldn't find any words to respond with. Instead, I just mumbled something and scratched my neck. People don't join cults because they don't know better. They join cults because they need support, and the group makes them think they'll get that help they need. Whether it's emotional, physical, financial, or all above. Or all of the above. The cult provides that support group to anyone willing to throw away their old life and start anew. But once you get in, you can't just walk out. And you think that needs to be destroyed? Yes, because it's all a lie. A cult isn't there to help people. It's to help their own agenda. Cults aren't formed to be a public service. They're formed by egomaniacs to satiate their needs of wanting control and status. All they care about is themselves, and they'll do anything to maintain that power, lauding it over their members. You know an awful lot about this. I thought all adults knew what a cult was. I hit him. He leaned back against the wall, folding his arms. I guess you don't have many people like that coming through this small town. It must be nice living so peacefully. Peaceful? You mean boring. Customers day in and day out. All I do is take their orders and do cleaning. Repeat that every single day. Sounds like bliss. If it sounds so good, then do it yourself instead of running around. Can't. Who else is willing to dismantle an entire cult? The constables. He gave me a look, like my suggestion was a joke. Nobody else sees them as a threat, and the people that do are all too scared of retaliation. So it's up to little old me. That's why you were starving to death. Ugh, thank you for saving me, really. Will your parents be okay with it? Don't worry about it. He didn't cry. Oh, Saribot banned someone. I was wondering why the chat did it weird. Then, you wouldn't happen to still have a bed and or blanket for me to sleep on for one night, would you? Depends. I don't help strangers. My name is Cyrus. It's nice to meet you. I'm Hazel. Aw. Chapter 4. Markets. That's about all my throat can take. So, with that and my aching throat, we are going to end the stream. Okay, I saved, right? Right? Okay, I did save. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu. And let's find someone to raid into! I love these visual novels, and this one really, really has me, like, in a cuff hold. I need more information. I need more about this cult. I guess because it kind of reminds me of, like, a D&D adventure. I'm, like, super into it. It's like, I need more. We'll stream more of this, definitely. But for now,